Hey guys, thanks so much for being with us today for Theology Thursdays. I'm Matt Chesser, and I'm with my best friend, Pastor Dustin Gay at Calvary Assembly here in Dade City. Well, let's open up our Bibles and jump right into it.
Hey, what's up? We're glad you tuned in today for Theology Thursday. I want to share a word with you that's really popular in the Bible, and it relates directly to the Bible, specifically the New Testament, and that's epistle. The word epistle, E-P-I-S-T-L-E, and in short, this is kind of a simple one, but in short, it's really just letters. That's really all an epistle is it's a letter that was written to communities or cities or individuals or churches by the apostles and the disciples. The New Testament contains 21 of them in total, and those 21 are divided into really two groups, but you could even call it three groups that I'll share with you. But the first group is this. It's Paul's epistles, and this is the most popular of the group because the Apostle Paul wrote 2/3 of the letters or the epistles in the New Testament. There's 21 of them in total. Paul wrote formally 13 of them, but most theologians do kind of credit Paul as the author of Hebrews. He doesn't formally state his name. Officially, the author, the book of Hebrews, the Epistle of Hebrews, does not have an author credited to it. But most theologians do believe it was Paul. So unofficially, Paul wrote 14 of the 21 epistles in the New Testament. But the epistles, as you read them in the Bible today, the way that they are arranged is not in the order that they were written or composed. So they're not necessarily like chronological in a sense of time of when they were written. But the order that we read them in today in the Bible and the way that you read them in your day-to-day study, they're composed based on the rank of the city or the communities and the places they were sent to. It's not really known who arranged the epistles in that manner or after that part. But the second part, or the second group of epistles is the pastoral epistles. There's three of them, but it's 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, and then Titus. There's three total, but written by two authors. And then there's a third group of epistles, and it's really just known and considered as the general epistles. They're called the general epistles or the general letters just because they were not formally addressed to any particular individual or church or community, but they were just addressed to like bodies of believers, and they were used for instruction based on the standard of living that God gave us. They were written by a couple different authors of the general apostles or the general epistles. 3 were written by John, 2 were written by Peter, and then 1 each was written by James and Jude. So there's 3 categories of the epistles. There's Paul's epistles, the pastoral epistles, and the general epistles. And these were just letters that were written to bodies of believers throughout the area and the region that they were ministering during that time. But it's interesting that the doctrine of Christianity as we know it today wasn't necessarily handed out through like a formal treatise, but they were really just established and brought through a collection of letters written by the apostles and the disciples. But just to simplify it, an epistle is really just a letter that was written by an apostle or disciple, and there's 21 of them in the New Testament Bible that we read today. Thanks for tuning in.